What's up, people? Welcome back to the Over the Top podcast. How you living? How you doing? How you feeling? I haven't been here for a little while. I'm sorry. But I'm back, though.
And a lot has happened in your absence as well.
A lot has happened. You know what I'm saying? How many pods have I missed? One, and then we skipped a week as a pod together?
Maybe two. Oh, well, it's good to see you, though.
Who's counting?
I don't know. But it's good to
You skipped the week that United lost to City, so...
That trip was
that might have
planned
been intentional.
brother.
I think it just...
Whether I was here or not,
You picked it on the calendar, and you were just like...
Clear your mind.
If I gotta be honest, we was gonna lose if I was here or not. Keep it a stack.
So what were your thoughts about the game?
It was atrocious. I was upset I had to watch it.
You know, as someone who's not a Manchester United fan, but, you know, still appreciates the club, I kind of felt like I was happy it was only 3. You know, it was like a calm 3.
I've lived. It was a calm 3, which sounds crazy for Manchester United, but I've lived through worse.
That's what I mean. It didn't.
I've lived through much worse.
Can you explain a calm 3 for the people that might not know?
It didn't. It felt like what you expected to happen.
You know what I mean? It was.
It wasn't. There wasn't a third-minute goal.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't 45, 47, 49. Mm-hmm. It was just goal. Haaland didn't have a hat trick. You know what I'm saying? It was just we got beat.
Close.
We got beat by a better team.
And then following that, you lose 3-0 to Newcastle. So,
and we got teams talking about I wanted the younger players to use this as their training. That was disrespectful. Did y'all see that?
No, was that what the Newcastle manager?
Yeah, they asked him. They were like, "Oh, like what was the reasoning behind like putting in like this younger player and this younger player at these minutes?" And he was like, "Oh, like I wanted the younger lads to like use this as like their training." I'm like, "Damn, bro."
So United lost 3-0 at home to a Newcastle United's B team.
Where the training team was crazy.
That was a cup game, right?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Knocked them out of the cup.
Carabao.
Yeah.
Carabao.
Is that one of the first rounds?
Yeah.
Might be.
That's basically, yeah.
So, B, how are you feeling about Erik ten Hag these days? You think the pressure's on him?
It is, but it shouldn't be. I still rate him, to be honest. But
Wait, but has Ten Hag really put the club in a better situation, especially after all those signings that he's had? Realistically,
he's had some
no.
shit signings.
Well, he won a trophy.
But a couple of his signings were
Champions League
the
football.
second and third option for what he really wanted. So it's like, because every time you ask him, like, oh, can you play football like you played at Ajax? His question is, like, in the most respectful way, like, bro, these players are not that. Like, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And we have a lot of injuries right now. Like,
before you guys challenge for a major title, like Champions League, Premier League.
I was talking about this.
Give me a year. When do you think that you'll be going into the year confident that you can win it?
I was talking about this with a Chelsea fan, one of my friends the other day.
Do you think within the next 3 years?
No. I think 5 to 10 again, which is crazy.
5 to 10.
Do you think Erik ten Hag will be the manager in 5 to 10 years?
No.
I hope so.
You hope so. That's good. I mean, he's not.
I'm still mad we missed out on Pep, Mourinho, and well, not missed out. We fired Mourinho, and Teeth, Jurgen Klopp.
Teeth
Sweat over there.
No, that's. I've been hearing rumors that De Zerbi from Brighton is potentially a future replacement for Ten Hag.
Why?
Because this new investment that's going into the club from Jim Radcliffe, this British billionaire, he doesn't seem thrilled by what Ten Hag has accomplished so far. So I'm curious just to think, like, how much time are they really going to give Ten Hag, and when is it going to fall more on the players and not so much the coach? Because it feels like the players just keep recycling the managers now. Right? It's kind of like the same group of guys.
Bro, they're trash.
I mean, they did get him out of jail yesterday. They came very close to a 0-0 tie against Fulham that I think would have.
I mean, VAR is a different conversation. But
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
we'll get
think
into
there's
VAR,
a lot of quality players that are on the field for what we're fielding right now.
Bruno Fernandes, quality or not?
Quality. I don't like
Casemiro?
him as a player, like the way I don't like his attitude on the field.
Casemiro?
Quality on his last legs.
How do you feel about Garnacho, though? So, like, there is talent. Marcus
Love Garnacho.
Garnacho's great. I was very happy to see him play, but I feel like he only played because Rashford picked up an injury.
Marcus Rashford is hot and cold. He's either on or just on the field.
What about Højlund?
Probably. I don't want to believe it yet, though. But probably.
Have we seen Marcus Rashford be consistent for more than like
No.
a single season?
Last season, he did have
Maybe
a
with
very
philanthropy.
consistent stretch. I'd say.
He found his
One
form in
season so
Qatar
far.
and carried it along.
Yeah.
He's never had that season.
More than a
Ever.
season, I don't think so.
Never.
No.
Which I just don't want. I don't want to like
But
acknowledge it. But
Is
yeah.
he kind of like the player that is undroppable for that squad though? Because it feels like
Yeah.
whenever he's fit, he is the first name on the team sheet.
I mean, who are you gonna put Anthony or freaking
gonna say,
Sancho that's
first of
not
all,
even on the team anymore?
Look at all the money we just gave him. He's from the academy. He's been there forever. You got to repay the loyalty, but it's just like if this is all you bring in, I guess.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like the performances from Rashford just feel like not what they're expecting from him, and it just
Yeah, I mean, they're not getting those performances from anyone. So at this point, it's like,
I think they
what
also.
is it the coach? Is it the players? Because they've tried the different coaches, right? They've tried the coaches.
It's
that
the players.
have developed the young players like an Ole Gunnar
Marshall
Solskjaer.
can go. Harry Maguire can go, even though he's.
I mean,
been better
you guys
lately.
need to start looking to fill in that center back role. Like
yeah, bro. Like
Varane,
seriously, we
Varane
need a
has been
real-
picking up a lot of injuries. He hasn't been consistent.
I think Licho, whatever her name.
Lisandro
Lisandro
Martinez.
Martinez is
Yeah, you
in.
know what they call him. What do they call him?
Liche.
Yeah,
a
that's
little
what I said.
pitbull. No, but also like every manager that they bring in has like the freedom to bring in a certain group of players, but then that manager gets replaced. So you have all these like group of players.
Because all of them leave and say, "Oh, my hands were tied. They let me bring in who they wanted." Everybody has like, "Oh, this
That's
is my
fair.
list," and they told me to kick rocks.
It's like, okay, your first option is not good, but maybe your third or fourth option, but they still kind of like are bringing in their own players, but then the manager's getting replaced. So now you have all these like cliques of certain players from past managers, while the new manager's trying to gel together and implement his strategy.
I
so
think at
it's
some
like,
point they got to have some.
I forgot Mason Mount was
freaking
even on
pride.
United. To be honest,
yeah, like
What did you say?
he's been invisible.
Who?
Mason Mount on United.
Yeah.
He
I
doesn't
forgot he
play.
wasn't
I don't know
on
why
United.
we bought him.
so they
That
spend
was
the money
pointless.
on Mason Mount and Anthony, and they're lacking a center forward. So is
I mean, they have Hoyland.
They got Hojlund.
He's a
But
great.
he hasn't scored a
addition
prem
to the
goal
team.
yet. I mean, it's
Well,
still
That's
young.
not his fault.
Still young,
I don't.
but-
Yeah,
It's
I
the
don't blame him.
midfield that we're
early.
fielding.
And I think it's also the fact that like you have wingers who don't cross the ball. I
Can't.
think he's the forward that
Can't.
like,
Needs
thrive
to-
off the
yeah.
service.
Can't cross the
like,
ball.
Anthony
Can't
he
cross
just
the ball.
he refuses to cross the ball.
He can't. You ever seen him put service in? That shit is
Rashford-
just in there.
Rashford's like definitely the type of winger that wants to score the goals himself.
Yeah, could
But
see that.
Anthony,
And
like,
he's not scoring.
watching Anthony yesterday was like
Bro, watching Anthony is
that might have been
aggravating.
the final nail in the coffin where I really am starting to think I don't know
That
if
shit
it's
is
gonna-
aggravating.
if it's
He's
gonna happen for
trash.
him at United. He's like one of those wingers where it seems like he wants to come in on his left foot
Cut
and like
inside,
curl it like
yeah,
Robin,
yeah.
but he can't quite do that. But then he's not fast enough to like go down the line and put in a quality cross with his right foot. So he's
He
like
plays
very
how I play
ineffective.
basketball. He make that shit look real good till it's time to do something.
All
When
flash.
it comes to the end product, that is just
Yeah, once you're supposed to like be productive, that's when he lose everything.
All right, but he's $100 million signing, so you got to give
Fuck
him.
do that mean, bro? That just means that's what we paid for you. That doesn't mean like
Right,
if you're
no, I
shit,
know.
you're shit.
But doesn't that mean he should get a little more time to try
No.
to prove that investment?
How
is
much
worth
more
it?
No,
time does
because
he
you're not
need?
showing me anything that tells me I should give you more time. What are you showing me that's like? I mean, I see it. Let's wait. There's nothing there that I see. What do you see?
How many
You haven't
appearances
seen
has he
when he does
had?
that spin.
What do you see? For real, what do I see? That says I should give him more time. If you were the coach, what do you see?
Okay, well, my issue is I see something. I see his Ajax tape, so I've seen him at Ajax.
I'm not asking you. I'm talking
I
about
know,
what he
so
did
I'm
in the
saying,
United
like,
uniform.
so
Stop. What do you? I literally saw somebody on Twitter put here's Marshall playing against PSG with Monaco. Come on, yo.
No, but that could be why Eric
Show
Ten
me
Hag
Obama
keeps
era
sticking
highlight
with him,
tapes.
though.
Come on, son.
So Ten Hag coached him in Ajax, so maybe
Right.
Ten Hag thinks that, okay, there is something deep down
And
that
he
he
was productive
sees
in
that
Ajax.
nobody else can see. Because you're right, trying to just come off the cuff, what has he done that sparks, man, this guy needs more time to prove he's going to be
He's
a
hit
world beater.
women and not scored.
He's only gotten in trouble, to be honest.
Literally, he just hit ladies and
How
not
many goals has he scored for his whole
This
Manchester
season,
United
But
career?
I can tell you this season he has
I think like
0
4,
goals and
maybe.
0 assists.
I think he's got like 3 or 4 in his
I
Manchester
think it's 4.
United
I
career.
think it's
Okay,
dead
well,
ass
if
4.
you're $100 million signing, I expect at least 10 goals, 10 assists. Like,
minimum.
So he's
your
been in the
first
club
season.
for how long? Like 14 months?
Yeah.
15 months?
Sure.
Over a year. I think he's had plenty of time to adapt to.
Bro, you've had time to
The
adjust.
system.
You've had time to do mad shit. You're not the guy. You don't have what we need. It's just what it is.
It's just $100 million bust
Yeah, that's just what it
signing.
is. He's
You know,
a bust.
him
So
and
that-
Sancho. They just haven't had the
You can't
success
really
rate that
blame
other clubs.
Anthony though for being 100 million. He should half of that.
I
But
can
the
blame him
fact
for
that
being a
United
bust.
waited so long to get that
Bro,
deal
whether you're 100
done.
million or 50 million, you're a bust, gang.
No, that's true.
4 goals for 50 million is still unacceptable.
No, I agree. But the fact
I mean,
that the
a lot of
price
players are
what it
worth 50
was-
million nowadays. So
Yeah, that seems like the going rate for a
And
winger.
shit,
even
inflation.
if, like-
We gotta remember, we be talking like old ass men. When we was kids, that's different bread. Literally, that was 20 years ago. Really, no, really think about it. When you started paying attention
Yeah.
to transfer fees and playing fees,
like when
that's
when
different
Ronaldo
money.
was signed for 100 million, that
that
was
was
just
a
like,
lot of money.
God damn,
Now
that's
that's
like.
Anthony.
But it was 100% worth it. You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? Like,
Now
You gotta
you
think about
say
that
Anthony.
too.
You know what I'm saying? Now you say Anthony worth 100 million. You just start laughing because Ronaldo was worth the same.
it's like,
Yeah,
they
honestly-
gotta steal.
Yeah, Real Madrid got a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you adjust it for inflation, it's probably a little bit more bread than we
Yeah,
think. But
yeah,
still,
that's
they
true,
got,
that's
you know what I'm saying? Because even that was 15 years ago.
So then, how about Gareth Bale going to Madrid for I think it was like 100, 110?
I think that.
Look at his
was worth
career.
it.
He
yeah,
had
he
that.
had
Hell
an amazing
yeah.
career.
Money.
Anthony never won no Champions League.
I mean, you can't really judge based off the end. The end was just like, you know, it was just time for him to.
I mean, he just
transition
got
to something
injured.
else.
It's just what it was. But when it was time for him to
I mean,
deliver, he
Hazard on the
delivered.
other hand was a complete bust.
That's
you
it,
know,
yeah.
but that was like one of like a ton of players that Madrid has brought in that weren't a
And I
bust.
think
You know
Madrid
what I'm
is
saying?
fine. It's just like
The
all right,
success
cool,
rate
this
is a
a
lot
bust.
higher than
Yeah.
any other clubs. They're just better at picking out players that fit their system and are going to be there for a long time. Like Jude, my eyes.
It always
Do we
leads
even
to
have a
Jude.
system for us
Success.
to say like, oh, this
No,
player's
so yeah.
gonna
So
fit
going
into
back
this
to
team?
United though, it seems like there's a reoccurring theme of good wingers not having success at United. Is it?
Starting with Di Maria, probably.
Yeah, Di Maria. You could even throw Alexis Sanchez in there, even though he was more
Oh
like
my
an
god, that was
attacker.
such a bad
Nah, he was
buy.
definitely a winger.
Yo, I
Yeah,
that's-
hated
that's
that
fair.
purchase too. We making the dumbest.
So I wonder what it is with United. It's just that they're having such a hard time replacing the wingers
the
that they had in the
Glazers.
past.
It's the Glazers.
I mean, if you
Kinda
think about
agree
it,
with you,
like I don't
the
think
Glazers
they're.
put up money. You know, I feel like it's the people that are controlling the football decisions.
Every time somebody that I think is gonna do well as a manager at United leaves, they wait 6 months and they say, "Yo, I thought I could do something," and then I got there and they put handcuffs on me. Every time.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Mourinho left and
very-
he was like, "You see what I did there?
That's his
what I was
greatest
dealing with
achievement.
there.
Come finishing in second place.
What I was dealing with there, and I came second place. No, that's how far they're gonna go for a while. Know that. I did a feat coming second. Know that. Everybody say you're disrespectful, and then time went on and they were like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I guess the same thing could be said with Cristiano Ronaldo, someone who's won everywhere he went. He got back to Manchester halfway through his second season, did an interview like, yeah, there's a
This
lot
is
of
the
things
same
wrong here.
jacuzzi I got here, and it was here. The same.
when he
Everything's
was
the
back
same.
in 2004, 2003. Yeah.
I broke that tile.
Jacuzzi.
I broke that tile, and it's still broken. Like what are we doing, yo?
We still have the same goddamn towels.
Bro, he's like, yo, the kitchen identical. I have cafeteria. This shit is like
The
you're
same
making all that
food, too.
money.
They haven't even
You're not
upgraded.
investing into the stadium. This is the biggest club in the world, damn near.
Yo, did you
stadium
see that
popped
video
up.
of like the Gary
claim
Neville
to
doing
be
his
the biggest club
podcast
in
at
the
Old
world.
Trafford and it was like raining and you see just water coming through the
Yeah,
roof
bro.
because of how bad the infrastructure is.
And it's like you're not investing in the club. Excuse me, into the stadium. You're not investing in that's also gonna make players want to come there, right? You're not buying who the managers that you claim you trust really want, and you paying yourself the highest dividends out of anybody in the league. Come on, yo. They're using the shit as a bank.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a
They're
cash
just
grab
doing
for
the
them.
soccer
Like,
shit like, oh, I guess we gotta like sign people so it look like we running a club. I guess.
I just hope they give Ten Hag the right amount of time, similar to what Arsenal are doing with Arteta.
I hope he outlasts the Glazers.
Yeah, and good time
However
to remember that Sir Alex
unlikely
Ferguson
that is.
Took
3.5
5
3.5
years to win
years
something,
before
though.
he won something.
Yeah, 3.5 years.
Yeah, I believe it was 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, with City being the league, that's doesn't matter how long you're in. You
Until
can.
Pep goes, no one's gonna win anything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Pep's been tied to every financial scandal in the last 20 years. Okay. Just putting that
Nobody
out.
wants to
Wait,
talk
I
about
want
that.
to ask
though.
you like
Saying,
one
yeah.
question when it comes to like player psychology.
Oh, I don't want to answer it.
So Marcus Rashford got a lot of flack for like partying
Being a
after the
bitch.
Manchester
Oh.
Derby, But it was his birthday. He threw his birthday party a couple hours after the Manchester Derby, and a lot of fans were getting on him saying, like, you know, how could he be partying after, you know, getting embarrassed like that at home? What do you guys think about
I think fans are
players
hypocrites.
practicing?
Fans are hypocrites. You have a bad day at work on a Friday, you're not gonna go out.
You gotta blow
Come
off
on
some
now.
steam.
And it's his birthday. Like, come on, stop. He's in his 20s. Stop it. Like,
I get it.
stop.
Yeah.
I get it's
We
probably,
played college
it's probably
soccer.
not a good
How many
look,
times
but-
have you lost the game and they pregame and
how many
not
times-
even done that and they talk
Yeah.
about where they going tonight? Come on, bro. Like,
How many times a year do like most average football players really go out? You know what I'm saying? Because like
I
the
think-
tough.
well, they're not good enough to go out like
Brazilian
early
are.
two.
Yeah, or Jadon
Relax,
Sancho.
that's aggressive. Because there's the cacas of the world. But I think it's how good you are is a
religious
direct
groups.
correlation of how much you can go out. Because if somebody see Holland in the club,
Yeah.
they don't care. They really don't care. They're
I
like,
mean,
oh,
I don't
cool, do your
think
thing.
I really see Rashford as that player that's really consistently going out. So the one
He be
time,
outside.
I think it's nobody's
you follow
business.
him like.
Mhm.
No, but every time there's a complaint, it's like, oh, he wants to feed kids and not feed his forward. Like, it's all corny shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, people say corny shit like that. Like, but
People are
he's he's one of the more social footballers, I would say, like in today's age. Like before, I feel like if you were good, you was outside because it's like, what you gonna tell me I can't be outside? Like,
I think it's also a big difference when you're winning and losing. Like United have just not.
Yeah, that
winning.
too. If I'm
so,
losing,
like, if
no
you're on a
cameras,
bad
please.
losing streak and you're out like
If I haven't
partying,
lost
having a
since
good
last
time,
April,
like, it's about
take what
optics.
pictures you want.
You know, it's not that big of a deal, but people will perceive it as a big deal because you suck right now. But
Listen, in the grand scheme of things, you're a young man in your 20s making a lot more money than you've
oh
ever
hell
seen
yeah,
in your
yeah,
life.
no, 100%.
Go have a ball. I just want you to play well on the field.
Yeah.
If that's what you need to do to play well, by all means.
So you need to see more from Rashford on the pitch, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
I think everybody does. England, us.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I actually feel bad for United. I really do.
Shit, me too, bro. Nah, I've actually been hearing that sentiment from a lot of people lately. Like, yo, like, all jokes aside, bro, like, growing up, like, I've always had at least a little bit of respect for this club, and it's crazy to see where they at.
Oh, it's iconic.
Like, I've heard that from, like, a couple people.
Yeah, it's.
And I'm just like, I agree, it's weird for me. Like, it's,
Yeah,
like,
as a
I feel
Madrid
like-
fan, I have no respect for United
Goddamn.
anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Nah, I'm kidding.
But
But
nah, I feel like I'm
bad
gonna
for
have
you
to tell my
guys.
kids, like, yo, this team was, like, nice before.
Back in the
like,
day.
When I was that
When
age,
they're in League
ooh,
Two.
boy. And they're gonna be like, Dad, in the 1900s, but relax. It was early 2000s. Man, man. We suck.
Downfall is real.
Also, he's been getting better, but Onana and direct shots, boy, he gotta figure that out.
Yeah, man.
Shots that come to him.
You were giving me so much shit about my De Gea takes, but you know.
He be eating a lot of Butterfingers before the game.
It's
Oh my
unfortunate
God.
because Onana is a good keeper and he shows leadership,
We need
but
to
he's
put him
just
in the midfield.
He has moments.
these mistakes.
He has moments where like it's just like, damn, that was a really good save, and then
Yeah,
there's moments
there's
where like,
some I'm like, yo, good.
bro, I could have saved that with my left pinky. You
There's some where
know?
it's like, no, I've saved that. Like, I remember when you play, like, oh, you getting the goal now. I've saved that shot.
I think he'll improve, but it's been a shaky start.
All I'm remembering is when De Gea got there and we were like, brother, what is this?
Yeah.
You
It's
caught the
similar,
ball and
yeah.
it jumped over your shoulder. Like, what's happening?
he was also like 18 at the time.
Like,
too.
what are we doing? Don't bring the Asian. It's gonna make me pay attention to it.
That's fair.
I'm just hoping. And Harry Maguire, I'm a hater. So if he wins the Balon D'Or, I still hate. I just hate him. No, really, seriously. If he was to, I hate him.
I think there's
just
like
hate
Scores
a
the game-winning
0%
goal
chance that
to
happens.
keep
So.
Champions League hope
Hate him.
alive. Hate him.
hate him. Scores the winning goal in the Champions League. I hate him. Don't like him.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think we'll prosper until he's gone.
you guys need a result against Copenhagen this week, or else Champions League round of 16.
But
is
realistically,
looking,
with this team, like, oh, we're in Champions League.
you
We're
ain't.
about to
You
win.
guys aren't making it past
Would you-
the round
would
That's
you
of
what I'm
16.
saying. Like, oh, you have to win.
Would you rather be in the
Let's be
Europa League?
realistic. If you have to win, let's say we win this week, would you gonna go to the final? Like, I'm a realistic fan at this point. It's been dumb long. I've been delusional for 10 years, and then it's been bad.
But what if you make?
I just watch because I love the team. This is how I know I love United, because I still watch them for whatever reason.
But you can make big signings in the winter before the round of 16.
Yeah, if you're only able to make one signing in January, what position?
Messi? I don't
No, not even a player. Just what position would you upgrade?
Bro, I don't know what this play. Center mid. We've been trying wingers forever, bro. We need a midfield. Because Amrabat, he just did be there. He's just cooling out on the field.
Yeah, he's kind of been a disappointment.
Yeah,
he's not adapting well at all.
I kind of feel like I see why like they didn't want to sign him.
Yeah,
it was kind of like a last minute. Oh shit, we ain't got anything else to do.
Which is most of the signings. You're here because like we couldn't get nobody else.
I feel like that's a lot of signings.
Yeah, they're mostly just like, oh well, they took him, and him. Like you're here, so.
Meanwhile,
you want to play for United? And he's like, oh yeah, I've loved you.
Listen, Scott McTominay seems like one of the better midfielders.
I'm such a hater.
But that I know, but that shows you where we are. And it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's not a testament to his quality. That shows you the quality of the
much
team.
they just fall.
Yeah, like that was aggressive, little person. I want to keep my job, but yeah, Juan, you mark that down, Kenny. 22 minutes. But yeah, bro, like. He's not the guy. I think he should have left a long time ago, or like left fresh out the academy and been like the most fire midfielder ever.
When Fred left, it was time to move on from McFred.
They played like Fulham the other day. Andreas Pereira was a former Manchester United academy kid, and like he played well.
I've always liked Pereira. I've always liked Pereira. I was upset that he left. Imagine him and Garnacho going crazy.
I hope Garnacho has a good career at United. I really want to see him do well.
You could have stopped that at
just
United.
Career.
Yeah, do that.
I mean, to be honest,
he's gonna have to make a decision soon.
He seemed kind of.
How old is he? 19, 20?
Change quickly.
19, 20.
19.
The best thing in his career will probably be
4 years passed, and we're where we are. Be out. And 4 years is a lot.
I wouldn't even say
2
4.
to 3 years.
How quickly he develops though, but it's gonna be tough because
get a starting spot, run it up, and slide.
So like if he likes playing on the left, then he's have to try to replace Anthony on the right, which I don't know how Ten Hag is gonna feel about that because he's been so stubborn with Anthony all season.
I don't know. I was already hearing rumors that they might try to loan Anthony out in the winter,
sell him.
And
take the
swap
loss.
him with another Brazilian.
I'll pay someone 17 million to take him.
Oh, I saw that. You know who else is from Flamengo? Not Flamengo. Who's the team that just won the Copa Libertadores? Oh my gosh.
Corinthians?
No. They beat
Boca
Juniors.
Corinthians.
Fluminense.
Oh, Fluminense.
That's where Marcelo is, right?
Yeah. So Liverpool are gonna sign the Andre midfielder, who would be perfect for United, but yeah.
We can't sign nobody.
So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what or how or when United can make that change back into.
I just hope that I don't have children before we are challenging for like the top 4.
You don't want them to grow up being.
I want them to grow up how I grew up, like Manchester United being the team,
being that dude.
Like we need like a class of like 20, 28 or something.
Like he said, if they
like a
could
new
get
class of 92.
Brighton's manager through the door, De Zerbi, I think he could make a big change.
Wow.
But
really,
at
do you
the
think
same
you really think
Right.
anything would change though?
No, I think it would, but I think he would like change so much. I think he would like
get rid of a lot of
What
players.
makes you think the Glazers would let him make the big change? That's what I'm saying.
That's the
Y'all
only
keep
thing that would
saying,
stop him.
oh, the managers could do it. It's the Glazers. They got to approve everything.
Because he has like a really interesting rotation with Brighton as well. Because like there's a lot of. Brighton has a pretty like strong squad. You know what I mean?
They
There's
have a distinct style and players that fit that style. So for him,
will he be allowed to bring the players into fit his style?
Yeah.
Everybody comes to United, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, great ideas, and then they're like, no. And they're like, all right, fuck this job. And then they leave, and then they tell you about it.
Yeah.
It's like clockwork. It happens every time. I just hope we don't get the Ten Hag. Boy, I wanted to sign Holland. Even though I'm pretty sure we got the literal fucking Ali. I want to sign Ali.
They got the Walmart version.
No, yeah, Ali was like, yo, I wanted
Holland, right?
Son.
Well, best of luck.
That being said, I still believe in Rasmus. I think he'll come good. Maybe not at Manchester United, but I think he's gonna have a good career.
He seems like he has a lot of
he's a good player.
Spunk and potential. Like he seems like he's trying the hardest.
He's got moxie.
Yeah, he's just got that that bounce in his step.
He like the cut of his jib.
Like he has something to prove.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So I do hope he does come around.
Definitely.
If it's not for United, even better. But
such a hater. I definitely like his mentality. He seems like he's gonna find a way to be successful.
So if they had like 11 players with that same mindset, they'd be champions. So that's all. No.
Pray for Manchester. So I know a bit earlier you mentioned Harry Maguire possibly winning the Balon d'Or, but he didn't. So
That's a nasty intro.
He didn't finish in the top 1,000 players.
Nah, I don't think he made the top K.
Might have been like 11th or something. But.
well, to no one's surprise, you know who won his 8th Balon d'Or.
Was he Voldemort? You can't say his name.
Who shall not be named.
You know who it is. You know what it is.
It doesn't even need to be said.
You know what I mean? What's understood doesn't have to be said.
Relax.
The greatest player of all time, just cemented it again.
After Pele?
I don't remember how many Balon d'Ors Pele won, but I don't think he won 8.
Excuse me. I don't think he was
Is
eligible for them.
Is it really a debate anymore? Or
Wait,
is
no,
it
but
just
you know he wasn't eligible.
Nah,
for them.
because he wasn't in Europe.
Yeah.
I know. But Messi did it again.
Or did they give it to him again?
It felt more this was a sentimental win. It wasn't really
I
about
think
being
this
the
was-
best player of that
Bro,
specific
they threw
year.
his goalie, the goalie
Yeah.
one. Like, come on now.
Emi Martinez, best goalie. I guess that
That
just shows. I
sicko.
guess they're trying to show how prestigious I guess the World Cup is. If you win that award or that
That young
tournament,
man is a sicko.
then you automatically are like the Balon. But has there ever been a time where a team won and they haven't been given the Balon d'Or? Plenty of times, I'd imagine.
Balon
Well,
d'Or
I
is
think the
crazy.
argument
When
is
Spain
kind
won,
of
they didn't give it to a Spanish player. They still gave it to
Xavi,
Messi.
Talk about
yeah.
And he
So
didn't win.
I think the argument really is that Manchester United, Manchester City, my bad,
It's
United
alright, baby, it's alright.
doesn't have like they have like 10 players that like basically like their whole starting 11 basically was in the top 25 of like the rankings for the
Yeah.
Balon d'Oro. So they have like so many good players that like make obviously Haaland stand out to that level. Because like think about it, it's not Haaland's not creating all these goals for him. He's getting all this service from top tier players. Messi really like single-handedly won the World Cup.
Yeah, he
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
that victory.
so like I agree. Like Haaland, like at first I was like, oh, he won the treble. He could be getting this award. Like there's no way around it. But then I really thought about it. And I'm like, listen, like he's just the best striker in the world. Doesn't mean he's the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? There's
I
a
agree.
difference. You know what I mean?
That's
So-
a good distinction, actually. That's
Like,
fair.
and then like when all those City players went on stage, I don't know if you guys watched the Balon d'Or. There's like 6 or 7 of them that are still on the team.
playing
You know
with
what I
City,
mean?
yeah.
And then there was even City players that are no longer on the team.
Yeah, like
that-
Gundogan was
yeah,
up there.
Gundogan
Yeah.
was there, and a bunch of other players that have gone to other teams that still were basically like qualified for that. So I don't know. I feel like it was tough to not give it to Haaland with the great season he's had, but he'll get one in his
He
career.
deserves one, but like, okay, City still didn't win the Champions League without him. He came in, broke the season single goal scoring record on his first campaign in the Prem. So it's tough to argue against Haaland winning, other than it's Messi, and you can never obviously Messi is going to be the best player on any given year, and you can make an argument for him deserving that. It
Yeah.
just goes into how much impact should winning the World Cup
Yeah.
have in this award, really.
I think they've made it pretty clear that nothing beats the World Cup.
The World Cup. But then also, obviously, there's going to be a little bit of favoritism. Messi has won it 7 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
The
too.
media, everybody in general,
they
just
all
wants
want it.
Messi
They
to
want
win
it.
it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
He
that
is
also
already,
helps a
like,
lot, too, you know?
rolling out their Messi Balon d'Or line for his new
So,
shirts.
Yeah,
Do you think
literally?
Do you
that's
guys think the
actual
award
figures,
is less
whatever.
prestigious after Messi and Ronaldo have won it all those times? Do you think the
I
media's
think-
impact on who selects the winners has taken away from the prestigiousness of it?
I think their dominance is taken away from people taking it seriously.
But I
They're-
think-
everyone's just like, oh, either or. Until they retire, or
I
they're
was
not
gonna
in
say,
the running.
I think after this year, we could agree that they probably won't win another one between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna bring a lot of interest and excitement
Stability.
back to the award. Yeah, exactly. I think we're gonna.
Yeah,
see
honestly,
a time
I
where
believe
this
that as
probably
well.
goes back to different winners every year.
Mhm.
It just
Well,
seems like the
or-
media
or
want to
they do the
Haaland and
Haaland
Mbappe.
and make him the
Yeah,
new
that's
one.
what I feel like they're trying to push next on us.
Or Mbappe. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
like that
Mbappe
next
is.
is
I wouldn't be
the
mad
rival.
at those
But
two
they're
being
so-
like.
Two totally
All right, who do you
different
think is gonna
players.
win the next Ballon d'Or?
I think it has a lot to do.
Oh,
Just give me a player.
Holland.
I'm just asking who you think. You think Holland? Who do you think?
Not Rasmus.
It really depends. Juan's gonna like this one. I think Vinny Jr. has a chance.
Really? Who you got?
I think if Mbappe wins the Euro Cup, I think it could be Mbappe. But he hasn't had the greatest start to the season.
You know who I got?
Jude gets no votes.
Who's gonna win the next Balon d'Or?
Jude's
Harry
a good
Kane.
one.
Damn,
Ah,
Damn.
That's a good
Tottenham
one.
fan,
That's
yeah.
a good
Oh,
one.
shit.
Yeah, we're in
That's actually not a.
No,
That's
I
a
know,
good
he's just
one.
not. He's
That's
killing
a-
it though.
That's
He's
a good
doing
one.
great at Bayern.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
just had it,
If they
you
win the
know,
league
he-
and they
Champions
win the Champions
League?
League,
No, seriously,
and I
that's
think
actually a pretty
England's
good.
actually
Yeah.
primed to have a good Euro run.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
wouldn't
good
be
one.
mad at
wouldn't
it.
see
either.
That's-
why Harry Kane doesn't have a good shot to win it.
I wouldn't be mad
Predicated
at
on
that.
those things, of course, but
Fun fact. Anybody know the last Englishman to win it?
Michael Owen.
That was an easy
Off the
one.
top.
Yeah.
It's been a while, guys.
Yeah. It's been the last,
That would be- that
the
would-
last Premier League player to win it.
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he win it when he was in the
2008?
2008?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
right. You're
That
right.
was the last Premier League winner.
Listen, if Ronaldo did it at United, I know about it.
Yeah, so we'll
No,
see.
That's
We'll
a
see
Harry
who-
Kane is a good one. I know. Yeah.
I would.
still not
I'd be happy if that's the next one after this
Yeah.
era of you. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I just want it to be like.
It'd
I
bring
want
it back to
something
how it
obscure.
felt like
Yeah,
when we were
exactly.
kids.
I don't want it to like just fall into the Haaland, Mbappe, same.
So you think
dynamic.
Lewandowski
I mean,
gets
obviously,
a
if they
chance?
deserve it. No, because I don't think Barca's going to do that
what was
well. Number one league on the planet, Major League Soccer. You know, it's the business end of the season. Playoff time is among us.
Business end of the season.
We've all been supporting our team, the New York Red Bulls.
Hell yeah.
Sadly, knocked out yesterday. It's a tough loss to take, but you know.
Yeah,
it
you know they
happens.
kind of shot themselves
Steps to
in the foot.
success, like Giannis said.
Steps to
It's all
success.
steps. Eddie.
No, management did say that they're going to invest heavily. We'll see what that looks like. But no, the potential is there. I was actually at the playoff game last night, and the Red Bulls lost after 8 rounds of penalties.
Yeah, that right back
But-
they got is a problem.
No, he's not bad. He's a good player.
brother,
But it's crazy because like the Red Bulls were winning 1-0 up until the 75th minute, and then they had a free kick at their own half, so they pushed their players forward. But the center back who delivered the ball in couldn't make it past the first man. So they played the ball, hit the guy, and then Cincinnati countered and scored to tie it 1-1. Then they lose in penalties.
You hate to hear it.
So it was a brutal loss. But it's interesting how they do the new playoff format.
Right.
So the league's been around for almost 30 years, but it feels like in recent time they've changed the playoff format around so much. So now they're doing a best-of-3 series where the home team plays first, then away, and if it's 1-1, then they play again at home. What do you guys think about that?
They trying to make it too palatable for Americans because I don't know.
So instead of going to PK shootout, they just go
Why not home
play
and
Like a
another
wild card
game.
game,
Wild
right?
card
So the
game,
Red Bulls won their
best of
wild
one.
card game, so that's their first
And
playoff
then
match.
The first round of playoffs is a best of 3 series. Higher seed.
I
lower
don't like
seed,
series in soccer.
And I believe it's higher seed again.
Right. Yeah.
I don't like series in soccer.
So it's like they're trying to implement an American style for playoffs
But after
into.
that, it is single elimination. After that first round.
Why wouldn't they?
I like it
do
the
a
way the
home and
Champions
away,
League
like
does
the way
it.
the
Home and
Champions
away,
League
home and
used to, like,
away.
keep the rule where
Yeah.
the goals mean more and everything.
No, that's
you
what
know?
even like one of the players in the Red Bulls were saying after the first game. Oh, we're losing 2-0. Goals don't matter. Let's just work on things that we could improve on for the next game where it actually
so
does matter.
W is just a W.
It's
too.
just So you win one, goal difference doesn't matter. You win, or if you lose the second one.
Wow.
So it's really
So this
just
is
about the
basketball.
win.
This is that WNBA.
Yeah. So this is actually
No, they played 3 and 5 game series.
So this is Apple's bright idea to generate more revenue to get more games. So like Apple want to increase the amount of games done.
Yo,
for
how
the
tired are you
playoffs.
by the end of this playoffs?
And it's long too. So the playoffs started a couple weeks ago, and it ends in like December.
right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be freezing by then, depending on
We're
where
doing
in the East
3
Coast
months
they
worth
are.
of playoffs,
It's
I think
more
you
like
kind of lose yourself.
and we're
month.
playing every
Yeah.
week. Like that don't.
It's
How do you have a good playoff run? Like I don't.
That's what's interesting about it, and it seems like this is very experimental.
And are you able to watch these games on regular television?
MLS season pass.
So I have to pay $13
Yeah, hell
to
no.
watch this?
Some may be broadcast, but if you wanted to watch every single game, yeah, you would probably have to have MLS
So
season
we're in the
pass.
greater tri-state area, right? Were you able to watch this game
I like the
without
vague.
MLS?
Oh, I don't know. I was at the game, so I don't know what the TV.
Oh,
was
subtle flex. He's out. I was front row, baby. I don't know what the
Hey, that was probably cheaper than having to actually buy the Apple season
You're
pass.
not wrong.
It was playoff tickets are included with our season tickets, so it was free.
Less fortunate podcast members. I was not able to go to the game, and I was looking for the game everywhere on TV, and I was not able to.
Everywhere.
You have to look on the Apple
So you know
TV
what
app.
I did, and it was $13 to watch the game. So you know what?
It's not worth it to you, which is unfortunate. That's the problem because like the media won't provide coverage for MLS unless it's involving Messi. So they're saying like no Messi, no coverage, which is really unfortunate because it was such a great game, and it was actually a pretty packed arena relative to what you usually see. So it's like there's just so much potential for the game to grow, but it's being kind of like
That's
held back.
Like we go back and forth.
Capitalism is ruining it.
Like, do you think that like the MLS is truly gaining MLS fans or gaining Messi fans?
Messi fans.
It seems like
Messi
a very
fans.
short-term cash grab. That's what it feels
That's
like.
what I
I'm
don't like.
so curious to see what the offseason for every club is going to be like. Because now that they could see what's possible, just the amount of viewership that Messi has brought to the league, albeit it's for Messi, but the impact that it had on MLS could be with other players as well. That might not be at Messi's stature, but if you bring in quality, quality's going to follow as well. So just like even watching how, if you watch the Cincinnati game like last night, how they played really good passing first football. Like Red Bulls are just a pressing machine because that's their style, and Cincinnati were just playing right through the press like it was nothing. So there is quality there. So I just
think they need to change certain things to make it more appealing.
Of course.
Well, like Inter Miami just signed Luis Suarez, right?
Yeah.
So clearly they're doing like the Barcelona reunion tour over there, and I don't think the MLS should put a salary cap on them to try to.
100%. No, they need to change the structure
they need
around.
to find as many.
100%.
Let as many of those players get together again.
They also need to change the
But how
schedule.
sustainable is that? Let's get old players to generate buzz thing. They've been doing that, and no one cares about the MLS still.
I would like to see a
But
hybrid
that's what I'm
of
saying. Like, would they be
old
able to
players
do that
and new players.
with like? Because you have 3 designated player slots, right?
and you could
So I'm sure
spend,
there's a
you
lot
could
of
spend
players
an
that can
unlimited
buy up
amount on
their
those
cups,
3
and
spots.
It's like, oh, okay,
So-
because Messi's here, I'll just hang out and make like maybe 200.
I'm sure they don't really care that much
Maybe a
about the
player
money.
like Suarez might
Yeah.
say that, but I'm saying if there was a chance for, say, New York Redbulls, this is still New York. If we're able to just say, like, however much money, like, we could get a billionaire owner that's like, you know what, I want to dump all my money into this, and he's able to attract a bunch of talent to make the level higher.
Sound like a Knicks fan.
What?
Sound like a Knicks fan. It's a big market. We could get anybody.
There's a salary. I mean, there's a salary cap though for the NBA though.
True.
And the way that the MLS structure is kind of like a
there should be
pyramid.
luxury tax. You know, obviously, if you go over, you're taxed at a higher rate. You know,
Why?
you don't want to make it too unbalanced.
Why? But
Okay.
Why?
But in the
Samara,
MLS,
I
you
have
could
more money
spend
than
as
you.
much as
I
you
can
want
be
on
better
your
than you.
designated player. So if you want
Right,
to
but
spend
3
$60 million on
people.
Messi, you can, right? 3 people, and then you have to
Right.
try to fill the rest of your roster with certain capped amounts, and that's the
Exactly.
difficulty. So once
I'm
they need
saying
to
they
find a
should
way to
They should
change
let that
that.
fly. It's like baseball for a long time. The Yankees, there's no salary cap in baseball, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a luxury tax, something like that. But it's like we knew the Yankees had the best team. A lot of years they won, but like we love it.
Yeah. And like
It's
same thing with the
fine.
Mets
It's
now,
like
they're
it's
spending
part of
money.
What added things to the league? I mean,
So here's
and
this.
made
Here's
the
a hypothetical
franchise
for you
famous.
though. If let's say Red Bulls bring in a player like Antoine Griezmann once his contract with Atletico is up, would you be more inclined to be a season ticket holder of the Red Bulls if they sign a World Cup winner like Griezmann?
Not Antoine Griezmann, but if you could get 6 to 7 players in the starting lineup who have like played at a high level and that sort of caliber of player, even if like, you know, maybe they're all around 30, 32, that would make me a season ticket holder.
Instead of just one name, you want to see
Yeah.
like a conducive style implemented within the players. So like, I guess that's where it's like I kind of want to see a team implement a style and stick with it and bring in players that fit that style, whether it's
Right, but it's
homegrown
like-
or whether it's the international talent.
But my thing is like certain styles of soccer you need very good players to do. Like a lot of the reason that Inter Miami could do what they do is because they have Sergio Busquets.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has ever played that position like him before. He's like 10 steps ahead of you, even like if he's the slowest player I've ever seen. So you can't pick the ball off him. So I think you need higher caliber players in those positions, not just, the homegrown kids or whatever, if they're not up to it. If you want to see that level of play.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's the beautiful game. It attracts us because it's the beautiful game. And if you don't have the right players, it won't be. And you're not going to attract as many fans. That's just the issue.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Bulls have a lot of spots on their team available next year. So it's going to be interesting to see really what they're going to do. Because I got...
player who's not racist.
Who's the best player in the MLS that's not Messi?
That's not Messi? You could say Shaqiri maybe, but...
Who's the best player in the MLS that hasn't played in Europe?
Oh,
Jordan Morris.
That's, yeah.
Who's that?
He used to play for the
On Seattle?
team on Seattle. He never left Seattle. He's played his whole career.
Is
here.
he like
That guy went to Stanford, right?
Yeah, he did.
charismatic? Like, is he a star?
He is in that area because I think he's from there. But I mean, like, no. Landon Donovan is the one that really comes to mind. But that's from like
He played in Europe, though.
Yeah.
for a short while. Yeah, but like a player that never left the league, maybe Chris Wondolowski, who was our goal scorer for the U.S. national team. No, you're right though, because it's like
I'm not trying to make a point.
I'm just trying to think of.
I think you
players
are trying
that
to make a
never
point.
left
I mean,
the
not
MLS.
well, not on purpose, but if I'm starting to, like,
you want like, so if you're an ambitious player, you want to try to venture out and compete with the best. Maybe that's why a lot of them. Because I would say Tyler Adams, but now he's playing in Europe, so it's like. A lot of the players that are capable of playing in Europe are trying to play in Europe, and that's what's been benefiting the U.S. national team also.
for her in the MLS.
Right, that's the thing. So it's like, what does the
gonna stay a
MLS want to
retirement
be?
league.
It's either going to be a retirement league or it's going to be a stepping stone for players. Like you look at Almiron, who is now killing it at Newcastle. He's the most expensive player to be signed from the MLS.
MLS got to make a spectacle. I think it'd get more people to watch if David Beckham was like, I'm going to play the last 20 minutes of each Miami game.
Yo, if I'm being honest, I would watch. I haven't seen Miami play more than one game. I haven't seen a full game of Miami this year. If David Beckham said he played the last 20 minutes of every game, I'd watch.
I thought that Messi going to Miami was going to make me watch the MLS,
Bro,
but it really hasn't, to be
I
honest.
have not watched a full game.
Especially because there's so much football like around the clock in
Exactly.
other
It's like you're not
leagues.
missing
Like you have
Messi.
Champions League during the week. You have freaking other games during the weekend.
Well, that's why the MLS is on later.
You would think like because he's there that all his games would be on ESPN.
No, you gotta
Nah.
search.
Apple bought the rights for a reason.
Right.
Wouldn't that make it? Wouldn't you be more inclined to watch if you knew like, oh, Sunday afternoons?
It's
or
on
like,
ESPN or something.
Not Sunday afternoons because that's football time. Give it Sunday mornings. It's like, oh,
But I'm not gonna
There's
watch
no
MLS
games on Sunday mornings for
MLS is
MLS.
on at
they should
night.
change that.
Yeah, games.
MLS are
The
on at
games
night.
are on at night. But then the thing is, all right, Sunday morning they're competing against all these other Prem
That's why
games.
they
Football
do it,
and
yeah.
football,
And
American football.
And the thing is,
You
I
run a little bit too long,
personally
it's clip
Saturday
free.
night.
During-
Put them against college football.
College football, they're not winning that.
No, put them against.
there's NBA games
Beyonce
at
just
that
won 4
time.
games. He's blowing them out the water.
There's so many other sports. There's hockey. There's NBA. There's a bunch of other stuff that you can watch.
Well, they're also legacy sports, so like it has to do with the coverage that the media is providing for the MLS, which is none.
Bro, pickleball might come and pass MLS for real.
That would be sad. No, but I mean, it's just we went to the game. How cool was that experience just to
You
be at
played
a live?
pickleball. How cool was that?
All right, maybe we should start a pickleball podcast then.
the pickle pod.
The pickle pod. It's got a good ring to it.
Listen.
No, the
That's
MLS
probably
has
taken.
potential.
The spin
It
off?
does.
And that sounded a little crazy. And the PP as well.
Reading too much into it.
Pause.
No, but we'll see. We'll catch some games next year. No, because I'm gonna have 3 season tickets, so
I mean, I just hope that the Red Bulls invest in like
multiple
Quality
areas
players.
on the pitch, not just one designated.
Invest
player.
in the community, like we said in that pod.
Well, the thing is, like, it's like it really comes down to
give
like
tickets away for free.
academy and player development. You know what I'm saying? Like,
stack the.
there's
Sorry, go ahead, make it.
like these European clubs. The reason why they're so successful is because they develop a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them don't ever make it to the first team, but they get sold to a different team, which is okay. You know what I'm saying?
America, though.
They they have another stream of way of making income. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard in America. You're
Red
not
Bull
about to go
Academy
live
does
in
have one of the
Jersey.
better academies too.
And
Yeah, but I'm talking about
school,
academies where you
yeah.
sleep, breathe, and
And
play
it's just
soccer.
ball.
You
But
wake
that's what you gotta
up,
remember.
you train, you play soccer, you play soccer again, and then you study. You know what I'm saying?
The farm system makes perfect sense to us because we're soccer fans. To an American sports fan, it's like, what do you mean? Was this camp?
Some clubs do have residencies though.
Some, but I'm talking about like an American
Philadelphia
sports fan,
Union,
like,
and I think
what I
maybe
know
that's
is
about
I know
it.
AAU and I
Salt
know
Lake as well.
leagues and stuff like that.
2 out of the 35
I'll
MLS teams.
look into it more.
Yeah.
But my point to you with like what could help the MLS. You don't think if the MLS did exactly what the Saudi league did before Saudi did it, you don't think it'd be super big right now?
Yeah,
Let's
but
say
who's
if
putting up that kind of money?
That's crazy
Sadio
money.
Mane, like
Bro,
Jordan
that the
Henderson.
Alright,
Saudi
They
league was
don't
like
have
a
the
I feel
money.
government like that. That's never gonna happen.
People go into the buy teams in the U.S. so they can sell their teams for more money. You know what I'm
It's like a
saying?
franchise deal.
And
yeah, it's
It's like an investment for them. If they don't see potential of
Literally,
making money, they're not going to do it. You know what I mean? Like they want the value of like their asset to be going up. You
That's
know?
why
So the
relegation
problem- they gotta
promotion
make
would
the
never be a
league,
thing.
Didn't
Yeah.
his team's
They
value go
have
up super
to
high?
make
Yeah, because Messi went.
the league. They got to make the
Right,
league
but
cool.
obviously-
If I were him, I would sell right before Messi comes, like leaves, because his shit is gonna go down like 50% once Messi leaves.
Nobody can fuck about Miami after Messi leaves. To be honest.
That's what I'm talking about right now. You got to capitalize on your gains. It would be messed up to sell it because Messi.
Messed up how?
Unless Messi ends up being like a partial owner, maybe they could still have
No,
some
that's-
hype to it,
Messi has the chance to own a
but
franchise.
still not
That's
gonna
in
be
his
at the
contract.
value that it is right now, worth right now.
Because Beckham owns them. I'm not gonna watch the team because Messi owns it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, did you watch the league when Beckham was playing in the league?
No.
I watched the game.
I watched
I
a
watched-
couple
I
games.
actually used to watch a couple of MLS games, but they
Yeah.
were on TV.
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
the
saying. It was
thing.
like-
Yeah.
Like the Red Bulls used to be on Yes, maybe
MSG.
MSG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was on
CFC
MSG.
that was on Yes.
Yeah.
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 My other club, you know, it's a better club.
Oh,
They are not
that's
the better
crazy.
club, but
We have a trophy.
Ooh,
Red Bulls have a
we is crazy.
I'm
got
a New
some
York City FC
community
fan.
This
shields,
guy's
supporter
sick.
shields.
They're actually in New York. New York Red Bulls are in Jersey.
This is the Mace of the podcast.
This is the Rashad McCann to the podcast. You don't watch Gil's Arena. This is the Rashad right here.
You come in wearing a crown. All right.
Support the MLS. Let's go Red Bulls.
Man, make the league cool or pack that shit up.
Invest more money to bring better.
Watch Winning Time and duplicate that. Get Jerry Buss. You need a Jerry Buss.
I would love
See
Kyle
if
Duncan's
Genie wanna
opinion
buy
on
the
the
team.
league. I would love to know what Kyle Duncan's opinion is on the MLS being actually like in it.
Give me text
Yeah.
nigga. Which one?
I mean, that's your boy. I'm just
No, I'm not the asshole. Nah, I'll ask him like what he thinks about
yeah,
it.
like
Because
he was-
he's left and gone.
no, I know he was.
Yeah,
I think he's
was
on
in-
contract with a team in Belgium, loaned
Yeah.
out to the MLS
That
right
was a
now.
whole thing.
Which I don't think he's getting much time up there. That's why he's back playing here. But
He got there and the coach that brought him there like left
Does
like
it- oh,
the week
so
after,
it's just-
yeah, and the new coach
it's
came
just-
in, and then something similar happened to him at Red Bulls, so it was the whole thing.
yeah, well,
But yeah, I should ask him what he thinks about
which
that.
is yeah, no, just like because he's actually in it, you know. So
I
that's-
should even Timmy
I don't know.
because he's
I
never
think
played in.
I
Yeah.
think more Inter Miami's would do well for the league.
that means more Messis. How many Messis are there?
All right, I'm not.
They're a dime a
Nah, I
dozen.
know.
Let's
I'm
be
just-
real.
I'm
Let's
just
be
joking.
shut up, man.
But
I just think predominantly like just soccer in the U.S. is like people when they watch soccer, it's the Prem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Prem based. You know what I
Nobody
mean?
thinks soccer's on MLS.
Yeah, but like you turn on like NBC on like a Saturday, there's a Premier League game going on.
Or golf.
You know,
shout out golf.
when you turn on TV, there's not even MLS games going on anymore.
You sound so heartbroken, like you used to watch MLS a lot.
I did.
Well,
But
it's
you
just,
did.
that's just like the exclusivity of content these
Dax
days.
McCarty,
Don't
Joel
curse him.
Limper, those are my guys.
I
Freddie
actually know what
Lundberg.
you're
Red Bulls
talking about.
fan.
Sean Wright Phillips.
Bradley Wright Phillips.
Bradley
But no,
Wright
they were-
Phillips.
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
that
both-
that's a Red Bull.
That's a legend.
right
Yeah,
there.
nah. He's,
Oh, we could have put him in the siblings game.
he's the
Aaron
leading
Long?
goal scorer. Oh yeah.
Couldn't tell you who that was.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Aaron Long.
The
midfielder.
goalie,
He's center back.
he was like
Luis
Asian.
Robles.
Yeah, Robles.
Look at you guys, knowing your ball.
There's a winger too that you liked. What was his name?
Mike Grella.
Mike Grella.
Oh,
He's on TV now. He does Serie A coverage.
Shout out
Mike
Mike.
Grella.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Dave Richards too.
Yeah, I just naming people in the world. This could be y'all co-workers for all I know.
I'm pretty sure he was Jamaican, Dane Richards.
Oh, big him up.
I think so.
Oh, I know some players then. Luton Shelton. I think he played in the MLS.
Did you say Lewis Shelton?
Luton.
Kyrie Shelton?
There's a guy, Taxi. I don't know his real name.
Taxi Fontas?
I swear to God,
He got kicked
played
out
for
of
the Jamaican. He played for the Red Bulls. Some
this
Jamaican
is
guy.
different.
His name is Taxi, but I don't know his dead ass name. I know his nickname, which is the most Jamaican shit ever. But his name is Taxi, and he's on the Red Bull.
I don't know.
Who's Jamaican on the Red Bulls?
I think Dane Richards. But this was
Kyle.
like way
Not
back
Kyle.
then. No, this was this was like 10 years ago.
Let me see. I gotta Google it now. We got in this segment.
There was another.
MLS.
Kamar Lawrence?
Oh.
Kamar Lawrence.
Oh.
Taxi man. Yeah.
He was good. He was a solid right back.
Was he not there no more? What
No,
happened?
I don't think he plays anymore.
Oh damn.
He's probably in his like late 30s now.
Oh, old ass. Yeah, his nickname is Taxi. Come on, Lawrence. Yeah, see, I'm not crazy. I know. I don't know his dead name. I don't know his name.
Because I know
His
there's a few.
name is Tax.
His
He's definitely-
nickname is Taxi.
Yo, he definitely used to drive around mad people.
I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't know where it comes from. It could be like from he was a kid, bro. Knowing Jamaican people. Guys, welcome back. Netflix documentary Beckham. It's been in the news. It's been the talk of the town. How do you guys feel about it?
I think it's definitely one of the better football documentaries I've seen, and it was cool to get that insight, that peek behind the curtain of his life. Even though he lived a very public life, it was cool to see it from his perspective.
Coming from a rival fan, it was cool to see how much stature in United truly is as a club compared to where they are now. And it also made me realize how good of a player Beckham actually was. So it's like one of those things where it's like you don't have to be a fan of United to enjoy it, or a fan of Beckham, because it's a global perspective on the game.
When you talk
at
about
that
him,
time.
like how good of a player he was, it's so weird for me because he came right before I started watching soccer consistently.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew of him based on his fame, but to this time, I still don't know how to rate him as a player. Like watching him, obviously brilliant on the set plays. He was a part of some really big teams, but I think about whether he's.
So I think Beckham can
How
get
good
into
was
any
he
side
really?
on that right wing. Beckham in his prime. So like, okay, for Liverpool,
interesting.
would he play on the right wing where Salah would play, or would he play more like a midfielder under Klopp?
Midfield.
I mean,
in my opinion.
he's not.
He's a midfielder.
In modern football, he'd probably be a midfielder versus like a classic.
Bro, he plays some of the best service in
4-4-2.
history. Let's keep it a bug.
But
He puts in some of the best service in history.
So he would get into any seat. That's what I'm saying. I think
Nobody
he could get
puts
into
a
any
ball
side
on a
the
forward's
way
foot
that he
in
could.
stride like him.
Yeah.
Well, not no one, but not a lot of
But-
people do.
I just wanted to ask you guys some of the things that really stood out in the documentary to me were something that I feel like you see in a lot of sports. Something that really pushed, someone who did push David when he was young was his father.
Amen.
If you watch the documentary, his father was like very hard on him and
Yeah.
always brought him to the field and they always practiced.
That's how you go pro.
It's because his dad didn't make it himself, right?
Yo, the best thing ever
it
is
his-
a dad that didn't make it. You're gonna make it if you're interested in the sport at all.
But interestingly enough, he did talk about how that did kind of like hinder his relationship with his father.
I'd
It
be
took a
alright.
while for him to, I guess,
Now imagine if he didn't
forgive
make
him
it.
and humanize him.
Like if David Beckham didn't make it, he would just have.
He'd be Dave the truck driver, and he'd look like that newspaper that what they said they thought he'd look like in 2020. Did you ever see that clip?
Nah, I did not.
Really?
No.
There's a newspaper article that came out in like '98 that's like what David Beckham's gonna look like in 2015, and it's him bald with missing teeth. It's crazy.
He would probably
Okay.
have severe
Well,
trauma
I
from his
guess-
father.
If that's
I'm gonna send it to you. We could put the
Yeah.
picture.
If that's your take, would y'all do that with your kids if you have kids? Would you like kind of like force them into?
I've said this to
soccer
you
or
guys.
Train them.
No, But if they say, Dad, I want to do something with this sport, I love it, you just gave me the duty to not let you fail. So regardless of if you know it or not, I'm not gonna let you fail. If you don't like soccer, you're like, Dad, this is cool, we'll go every Saturday, but this is not my thing. Cool.
I guess knowing what I know now and like going through the development of a U.S. player, I would have my kid in the best academy from a young age. If financial aside, like if I saw that my kid was interested in the game, I would make sure he's playing with like
if
the best academies.
If he wasn't that good, would you spend the money?
Right. So that's what I mean. To get into the best academy,
Even at like a young age,
Like,
because it's more like a pay.
If he's like 12, 11, and you're like, yo, this kid's not that good. Are
You still
gonna
have to
pay,
be
like,
good to make
academy
those
money?
academy teams.
Oh,
It's-
to
obviously.
get good, it obviously would like take
it would
a lot
help
of
to-
training and
Of course,
practice to
yeah.
improve. Like, are you like kind of forcing that upon your kid from a young age?
I would encourage it. I wouldn't force it until they
I'm
make
not
a
encouraging
clear
or forcing
decision
anything. You need
on
to
what
come
they
to me
want.
with a love of the game. At that point, I will then force you.
So, like when you
If
were
you don't
kids,
wanna
didn't
wake
you
up at
play
6
multiple
a.m.
sports? Then I started eliminating sports you didn't like. Or you
Soccer and
just only
karate,
soccer?
and then once travel started,
I played multiple sports,
dropped out.
but
Yeah.
I
But
played
then as
tennis
you
for a
got older,
weekend,
like,
and I
you know,
swam. for
as you
2
get
weeks.
older, I feel like you kind of have to pick
Have to
one
pick
that
one you
you're
wanna
good at
focus
or
on,
you want to
yeah.
focus on, because then the other ones just take.
For
a
me,
lot of
anytime
time.
I tried anything else, it was just I really like soccer,
It
and
was-
this is
yeah.
another sport.
I was the same way.
The only one I would have
Like, I
really
knew
liked
from
to
a young
try
age that I was gonna just
is
play soccer.
football, because the coach was like, "Yo, come play for me," but it was the same season, like it was the same time.
As soccer, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you? Would you force your kid to?
No, not at all.
No.
No.
Would you? Like, are you gonna
Um,
say my kids are gonna be soccer players, or is it if they want to play?
I'm not gonna like ever push them, but I'm definitely gonna put soccer in front of them.
Right.
Oh
that's
yeah, I'm
like,
gonna be a little
okay.
biased.
You
So
know,
like when
They're gonna
born-
have a little soccer ball in the crib.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I'm saying.
But
It's not like
Project Mbappe. Yo, Broski got mad big too. Broski's actually like dribbling now. He's out here.
it's not like I'm not gonna like be like, all right, I'm not even putting soccer in front of him.
Yeah,
He
no, we're
has
not
to
gonna
just
be a
like
basketball
one day be like,
family.
come to me and be like, oh, I want soccer. No, like soccer's gonna be around.
I wouldn't try to make
if
him
you-
into like a kid prodigy.
Yeah.
Like you see all
Yeah,
these YouTube
nah.
videos of
Unless
these,
my son,
10-year-olds,
like-
you know?
It's like 6 foot in the 5th grade. We're not going crazy.
He probably has to play basketball then, if that's the case.
He absolutely has. I'm gonna
Like,
breed
if I'm
him.
ever
Like,
watching
he's
TV,
Peter Crouch. He's gonna be a shooting guard.
if I'm ever watching TV, I may like when it comes downstairs, I may just flip it to soccer. You know what I'm saying?
Like chicken.
Yeah.
I could have been. I could have been watching something else though.
Yeah, so you're
Like-
like, oh, let's just kick the ball in the backyard.
Yes.
No, of course.
Saturday
That's
morning.
what you mean,
What
like-
are you doing, Dad? We watch.
I would like to have shared interest with my kids, so I'm
But
gonna
that's
try
how I
to
like
do
soccer.
what-
My
yeah.
mom, like my pops, used to put
And
on
that's
Premier League
usually
in the
how
morning.
it works. But if you're too pushy and too forceful with it, you're gonna push them in the opposite direction, and they're gonna
No football
absolutely
though. That's
hate
my
it.
hard stance.
Yeah, no CTE in this.
Yeah, I
household.
want you to. Yeah, no.
So another interesting point about the documentary that really stood out to me was Beckham's relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson, or
Dad.
more just watching it deteriorate. So from Ferguson's perspective, it looked like the reason he started, like he eventually sold David Beckham, was that he thought his lifestyle,
Wasn't
like-
conducive.
yeah, was taking away from his game, and then I guess it was like starting to eclipse the club per se, right? So
What's your hot take?
Alex Ferguson's not a manager of stars.
But he's a leader of men,
I
though.
want to get to.
He
My
can't
next
manage
point.
star personality.
He's a leader of
find it
men.
It's
interesting-
good when they see him as a father figure, or they've known him long enough to respect him more than their ego passes.
So I do.
Man like Luton Town, yeah. Is that
I do-
Tahith?
that is.
Ah, my boy.
I do find it interesting that, like, for all the reasons he sold Beckham, I don't know if he learned from it or he really just didn't like Beckham, and I think this might also be the difference. He did mention how much that he didn't appreciate, like, his wife, like
Being a Spice Girl.
Exactly, because later on, obviously Ferguson had Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo obviously wanted to be a megastar, had a lot of things going on ahead of the game. They even in parts Beckham talked about how Ferguson told him to change because he wasn't wearing black cleats. When you think about when Ronaldo got to United, he was wearing pink cleats some days.
Greens.
So it's
and,
like almost. I wonder, did David Beckham like walk so Cristiano Ronaldo could fly, or was it maybe just Ferguson knew that? Ronaldo had the potential to be a much better.
No,
player.
Beckham definitely broke those barriers for sure. He was the first soccer player turned celebrity
Maybe
icon.
just Ferguson saw the times are changing. If I want the best players, I'm just gonna have to put up with some of this stuff more. Or was it even that Cristiano Ronaldo's not married, and it's clear that his desire is still to become the best. He does have a lot of things going on outside the game, but everyone who talks about Ronaldo, especially his time at Manchester United, they all mention that he was always, his goal was to be the best. Even when he first came in, they said they used to laugh at him when he would say that to him. But it's just interesting to me. There was a question in there somewhere.
So all right, so I don't think Beckham is the reason Ronaldo was able to wear pink cleats. First, I saw something the other day with Alex Ferguson where he said basically one time a player came to him and was like, "Boss," like it was a Tuesday. He's like, "Boss, I want Friday off," and he's like, "Why?" He's like, "My mom died." He's like, "Oh, like of course you can have the day." He's like, "All right." After that, I've never asked anybody why. Yes, you can have the day off. So I think, and he said something like, you kind of got to adjust with these younger players. Like, everyone's not the same and the generations are different. So I think he was learning that anyway, right? Boom.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think he can make you a great player if you're not
You got to buy in, though. You got to.
But that's what I'm saying. He's good when you have to buy in. If you're like Beckham and you really don't have to, that's where the clash comes in. Rooney didn't have to, but he loved him.
From Beckham's perspective, he never wanted
16,
to. Beckham never wanted to leave United, though. It was kind of like Alex Ferguson decided that
because I can't control you anymore, right?
Yeah.
For Alex Ferguson,
it could be.
I have to be what trumps all. Not football, because I can give you permission to maneuver around football, but I need to be like the North Star in your football life, right?
Beckham was probably
too big, I think, for him, for his britches, for what Alex Ferguson was comfortable with.
I think it was like more of like also like a shock in a sense because he really brought like Beckham was like, yeah, I'm a football player, but like I'm also gonna make money in other ways. You know,
I think
he's one of the first players, if not the first one, to like really
that scale, of course.
Yeah, make it like. The next one after that was Ronaldo, you know?
You know, when he went to Madrid and they went to their tour in Asia, you would think that all of these players would gain more of the attention, but no, they were really only there for Beckham. So, like, when you look at it from, like, Madrid's perspective and you hear
and
Fiorentino Perez talking about it, about how much their revenue tripled when they signed Beckham.
I mean, it's a perfect club for a player like that.
They literally had Figo in the right way.
But I'd also argue Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become, like, the superstar he was until he was a Galactico. Like, his skill was the premier thing on display when he was at United.
Like, you're talking
Madrid
globally. I mean, he was one of the...
Where does he live? What does he do? Who is he dating? What is he driving?
When he was at Madrid, but even when he was at United, he was like...
I know.
Last year, United,
But it was more football focused, is what I'm saying. It was more like, this is a great footballer. It's when he left where, like, people are like, who's this guy? I think that's to Madrid. That's like the Madrid Galacticos thing. Like, we're gonna take what you are and blow that shit up. And to his credit, he's a star, so it's not hard. But I don't think United is where you can be a hometown legend and all of that. But I don't think you're supposed to be like Zlatan Ibrahimovic at United.
Yeah.
Or who's like a big personality.
Yeah, I guess.
Zlatan's a good example there.
Balotelli can't be a United player.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
No, they did mention that in that, like, when Ferguson was signing players, he looked more to
the humble superstar.
He wanted to know, like, are you married? Do you have kids? What's your wife like? So I guess there was like him trying to. Yeah,
it's like there's a certain type of player that he knows he's good at.
So with hindsight, did Sir Alex Ferguson handle that situation and the right way for the club?
Hell yeah, he kept winning.
Yeah, but they did have some tough years after
post Beckham.
Yeah,
it ain't look like this.
Yeah, this is a different level for sure.
So,
okay, one other point I wanted to bring up about the documentary I thought was interesting.
His wife's a liar.
He was keeping her honest.
He said, "Nah, tell him what car you drove." No, what was the brand?
No, that's funny.
So it was just like a little working class Rolls Royce. Like, come on, yo.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day is a wild answer to what car, yo.
No, but he mentioned this. He talked about his time in the MLS. They went over that, and if you guys remember correctly, after his first season, he left on loan.
Yeah, to go to PSG.
Milan.
Oh, he went to PSG too.
After
Yeah,
Milan.
after.
That's
Milan.
when he retired and
Milan.
cried. You remember that? Weren't we in college when he went to PSG?
2014.
No.
13-14 is when
Yeah,
he
we were in
retired.
college.
But,
Well, just starting
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Well,
But,
no, just ended it.
he mentioned that once he went to Milan and things were going well for him, he was playing very well over there. He definitely had a lot of game left. That he tried to make the move permanent. Right? It was supposed to be loan, but he tried to make the move permanent. The LA
saying
owner was
no
like,
chance.
Of course not. Never in your life. This is a legal document, sir. That's not happening. But part of the reason why is he mentioned why I thought Messi would not be as
Beckham and
successful
Milan would have been a problem.
in the MLS. He said the way he was playing, no one was in the right spots. He would like play a perfect cross,
And
it
nobody
look
would be
nuts.
there. Yeah.
And it makes you
No
feel
one would-
trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No one would be where they were supposed to be. So I guess I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that's why Messi would struggle in the MLS of just players not being able to play at his
Two different
speed.
players, though.
Yeah,
I can
but-
create for myself,
Definitely,
whereas my job is to create for
Yeah,
others.
So I think, as good as Beckham was, mentioning him or thinking of him in the same sentence as Messi doesn't really make
I don't
much
think that's
sense.
fair.
Do you think?
Because I'm a midfielder. I'm supposed to play great passes. If these jackasses
but
can't.
Messi opens up the space for
know what they're
everybody.
supposed to do,
So Messi
then
like
what's the
slows the
problem?
game down. So Messi just being on the pitch makes everybody better.
But I'm saying they're two different players. He's a striker that's pacey, he dribbles. People expect a lot. So that's going to draw attention. So it makes it easy to draw a bunch of people, slide a pass in. Here you go, finish, tap it in. Whereas Beckham, you know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to maybe dribble past you, play a great pass. Maybe take a shot from far. But I'm Beckham. I bend it like Beckham. If you give me a free kick, I might do that. But other than that, I'm playing the best service you ever seen in your life.
But
If the players I have can't control the ball, I look trash.
Beckham was successful in the MLS though.
Yeah,
he won multiple MLS Cups.
He had Landon
he
Donovan
was.
on the team,
But
didn't
that
he?
was towards the end of his time there, where it's like I don't think
Yeah,
it
it
was
took-
because
it
of
took
Also,
time.
I don't think so. I'm almost positive no. But Ronaldinho in his time never overlapped at Milan, right?
No, they did.
They did.
Yeah, they
They
did.
did?
They played together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
also, they didn't talk about him popping his Achilles at all, and that's
Woo!
what was really like hindered his chance to play. Because they were talking about how he was going at Milan because the England coach Fabio Capello told him if you want to play at the World Cup, you need to go back and play in Europe. So he did that. But they never mentioned why he missed the World Cup. They kind of like brushed over the fact that he had a near career-ending injury, which I would have
That's
liked.
not sexy. You don't put that
No,
on
I know,
Netflix.
but it's raw and it's honest, and it seems like that's what the documentary was, and they left that part
That's what they
out.
wanted it
But
to
all
be.
right, my biggest takeaway from the documentary was that as great as he was and as far as he made it, it really looks like Beckham had a tough time taking accountability for certain things. Like, okay,
Yes
so
and
certain
no,
things,
but imagine
he
having to
talks
deal
about-
with all the shit that he had to deal with at
I
that
know,
time,
but
which
when
is
you bring up like the kick, right? When he got sent off in the '98 World Cup for kicking Diego Simeone,
Yeah.
like that was just a petulant thing he did. Like it wasn't.
probably shouldn't even been a red card, but
I know,
that's-
no, but it wasn't.
Even
always-
Simeone said it shouldn't have been.
Of course,
Yeah.
but where's
I'll be honest. I've gotten a very similar
But where's
yellow card.
Beckham
and,
taking like the responsibility? You know, the whole time they just talk about how the country was like turned on him and all these things, but they
He
never
said-
really
I mean-
seemed
I mean,
like,
if
no,
you
there
were
were
David
moments where
Beckham
you,
for the
like,
last
He
20
said he
years,
made a
you probably
mistake.
wouldn't think you never did anything wrong either. Oh shit.
I don't know. I still think I think in any other player in that situation, he would look at it as like, oh yeah, well, that's crazy. He let the team down, and I feel like they threw him under the bus, but I still don't think he took the most responsibility for that.
look,
They also talked about how the amount of paparazzi he got.
yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, I felt like he leaned into it. It seemed like he leaned into it, and he really.
Well, the thing
liked
is,
that.
like, imagine
Like the
how much
attention
more
every time.
fame
Yeah,
his just
it's-
married and just
being married to a Spice Girl.
Yeah,
Spice Girl.
exactly.
right, but in certain like
People just followed him just because that had
Right.
nothing, probably knew nothing about soccer, just because he was
I
dating a
like
Spice
this
Girl.
Spice Girl. Let me follow this guy's
when
life.
they show so
Yeah,
much pictures
kind of like
of
what
him,
people are doing to Travis Kelce right now
No, but when showed a lot of
for
pictures
Taylor
of him,
Swift.
But that's what I feel like. I feel like Travis Kelce leans into a lot of these things. He's like leaning into.
I mean, they're making more money off of it.
There you go, and I feel like
The NFL, I think, is telling him to lean into it.
Where I feel like in a lot of the pictures, whatever, like he's always smiling with her. It's like it's almost like it's a photo shoot. It's
Son
like
said he's always
himself.
smiling with his
All
wife.
right.
Come on, bro. That sounded a little crazy.
They were like threatening his kids' lives that time. No, the English fans took that shit so crazy.
She's so happy for her. I'm a millionaire soccer player dating a Spice Girl.
Alright, I'm saying, but even like when like his children, he would like the children were born, he would come down and like talk to the press about it, almost like it was like a mini press conference.
He loves the fame.
I feel like
He does.
So them doing the whole, it was so tough. It was, I mean, obviously certain parts of it, you wouldn't wish on anyone, but it did seem like they leaned into a lot of it.
I mean, but he gets the final say,
And then
probably the final
another
edit.
instance is they talk about how he had an affair when he first got to Spain.
Allegedly.
You see that part?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And he never like
He kind of brushed over
Yeah,
it.
he
It was
never
like it
said
was.
that.
Yeah,
it was a
'cause why are we
difficult
talking about
time.
I made a
Yeah.
mistake. Well, it was brought up in it, so he was all he said was like, I moved there by myself.
He never even.
And I was-
She
no,
took
but-
advantage of me.
lonely, and
He never even
truly
admitted to it. No,
admits
he
it.
never
Yeah,
said
he's
that.
just
Hey.
like, it was a tough time. I moved
He
there
was
by
taken
myself.
advantage of, for all we know. Could have been
Okay.
drunk. Could have been lonely. Who knows?
Victoria Beckham looks good.
Right.
Though. She.
To you.
And even like she talked about how
Olé.
he would be moving a lot in the latter parts of his career, where when he left,
He was just trying to make it
Manchester
happen
United,
everywhere.
He just called her up. He's like, "Yeah, we're going to Madrid." Right.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, we're going to Milan.
But
Hey,
it's
we're going to
just-
Paris.
Even, like,
Okay.
Yeah. So the latter part of his career, when he was supposed to be finally retiring from the MLS, and PSG eventually called
He was
him.
wondering if he got
He
into the
was just
streets
like,
if they going to
all
love
right,
him
I'm on a
anymore.
plane to PSG. We're going to Paris now. So it seemed like,
Bro, it's hard to let go.
That's
Like, I was the man.
yeah, I mean,
And I feel like I
obviously-
still got some left.
He definitely had a hard time letting go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man cried tears on the field in that PSG
How
uniform.
could you not though? I mean, he's a legend of the game. He really is, and he really broke the mold for better or for worse. But he
better.
he influenced the game in
Soccer
multiple
players
ways,
should be
on and off the
superstars.
pitch. They are now.
Everybody used to want to bend it like Beckham until
There's a whole movie.
Messi and Ronaldo
How
came
much
into
you
the picture.
think? How much you think he made just letting them use his name for the title?
That's a good point. Probably a lot. They had.
I had it on
they had to pay for
VHS, so I
that.
know he's making residuals. I know for a fact he's making residuals at least off one copy.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
played it on TV all the time on TBS.
I don't know. I thought it was a cool.
it was really nice
Yeah,
to
it
see.
was-
I really like those introspective views into the
Yeah.
players, especially when their career's over. And
It's like the
looking
Last
back.
Dance. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
very, very nostalgic. It was very well done. So if you
They
haven't
should
watched
do an
it,
'80s Lakers one like that.
Yeah, like Val was saying, if you haven't watched it, go check it out.
for
It's a good
sure.
watch.